Oh man, we're about to lose any and all fans in China. Let's talk about it. Welcome back to the AFK Podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in. And let's talk about the situation in China and censorship. There's actually a lot to cover here. To be clear, when I'm talking about censorship, I'm also talking about censorship outside of China itself. So for those who aren't familiar with sports, in the NBA, the National Basketball Association, there's a team called the Houston Rockets, and their general manager, Daryl Morey, tweeted an image that says, "Fight for freedom, stand with Hong Kong." This is the tweet he put out right here. He has been showing support for the pro-democracy protests in Hong Kong, who have been protesting for 18 weeks now. Now, if you're unfamiliar with the protests or how things have been developing, well, it's been escalating, to say the least. Now, regarding Morey's tweet, he ended up actually deleting it, and both the posting and the deletion of the tweet was met with a lot of mixed reactions. You had Chinese fans upset that the NBA GM spoke in support of Hong Kong, causing the Rockets to scramble to handle the situation over the weekend. Something to keep in mind is the NBA has a lot of money to make in China. The Rockets owner sent out a tweet clarifying that the tweet represented Morey's personal beliefs and not the political position of the team, as you see here on the tweet on the screen. Morey himself tried to do damage control, addressing the situation on Sunday. There, he kind of started to backpedal, sending out a tweet as you see here on the screen. The NBA had also addressed the situation as well, taking a similar approach to Morey and trying to appease China and their fans. Saying Morey's tweets are his own, and he had great respect for the history and the culture of China, and hopes that the sport and the NBA can be used to unify and bridge the cultural divides and bring people together. But in response to this, China essentially told him to go fuck himself. And so we saw the Chinese government cutting ties with the Houston Rockets, also upsetting a lot of Chinese businesses, including the team's Chinese sponsors. The Chinese Basketball Association, along with Tencent, which streams the NBA in China to almost 500 million viewers, also cut ties. And for some background here, the Rockets specifically are an incredibly popular team in China. Yao Ming, who was one of the most popular basketball players in the country, played for the Houston Rockets. He's also a major reason behind the NBA's popularity in China. And a little side note, Yao Ming himself is the current president of CBA, the Chinese Basketball Association. So when the NBA cut ties with the Rocket, it means Ming was also cutting ties with his former team. We're talking about losing 500 million viewers, sponsorships, an entire market of people in China. This is a huge deal. And according to reports from The Ringer, ownership is actually debating whether or not to replace Morey as the team's GM. You also had the owner of the Nets, who also co-founded Chinese media company Alibaba, saying, "I don't know Daryl personally, but I am sure he is a fine NBA general manager." And also going on to say that the hurt that this incident has caused will take a long time to repair. We also saw an example of an NBA player trying to calm things down, this with James Harden, who stated, "We apologize. You know, we love China. We love playing here. I know for both of us individually, we go there once, twice a year. They show us the most support and love. So, you know, we appreciate them as a fan base. We love everything they are about, and we appreciate the support they give us individually and as an organization. You know, we love you." This situation is primed to escalate even further. We're now seeing news that China won't even show NBA preseason games, which reportedly was in response to the NBA commissioner, who actually told Kyobo News the following: "I have read some of the media suggestions that we are not supporting Daryl Morey, but in fact we are. We have. I think as a value-based organization, I want to make it clear that Daryl Morey is supported in terms of his ability to exercise his freedom of expression." The scary part is that there's actually more to this story. There was a professional Hearthstone player called Wai Chung who appeared on Taiwanese Hearthstone stream in a gas mask and goggles and said, "Liberate Hong Kong, revolution of our age." Now, following that, the clip was removed from the Taiwanese Hearthstone channel, and after this, Blizzard, the company behind the game and the tournament, announced the player's immediate removal from the Grandmasters and withholding his prize money for his participation. They're banning him from taking part in any Hearthstone esports for a year, pointing to a rule reading, "Engaging in any act that in Blizzard's sole discretion brings you into public disrepute, offends a portion or group of the public, or otherwise damages Blizzard's image, will result in removal from Grandmasters," which you can see in the image right here. This is straightly pulled from their website. And as you can see, it was actually recently updated on 10/8/2019 to reflect that on the ASIC Pacific ruling. Also crazy enough, Blizzard fired 2 commentators who had nothing to do with the Hong Kong comments. They were just there. So in my opinion, this is Blizzard blatantly saying that the business that they have in China is more important than free speech and it's fucking pathetic. My thoughts are sympathy for everyone involved and the people in Hong Kong. Thankfully, suppressing things like this is just drawing more attention to their struggle. It's unfortunate, but China is using their market to power or bully American organizations to bend the knee. We need people and companies that are not afraid of China or losing money in or with China. And unfortunately, these aren't the only two isolated incidents. A while back, you had the Marriott apologizing to China after Beijing shut down the hotel chain's website because it listed Hong Kong as a separate country. Even recently with South Park this week, where it was erased from the major platforms in China after an episode last week taunted Chinese censorship, with the show's creators Trey Parker and Matt Stone apologizing. Again, what the fuck? To not further risk demonetization, I'm actually gonna leave it there, but what are your thoughts about this? And hey, if you liked the video, now take a second to smack that like button and be sure to hit the subscribe button. Definitely ring that bell to turn on notifications, and if you're looking for more content to watch, make sure to tune in to my Twitch over at twitch.tv/MightyFLux.